everyone doing today?
I got my sound working again, so that was.
Oh,
I was like, all of a sudden it disappeared, and I was like, "Why? Why did you? Where did you go? Why?"
With technology and live streaming, right at the last minute is when everything will just have like a sudden breakdown
moment,
right when we're about to do our thing. Anyway, hello Trish.
Hi,
hello,
Trish.
Mike. Welcome to the Semantic Error chat, friends, new and old. How is everyone doing this evening? Are we all doing well? Are we here to talk about a show that I think all of us liked? Well, anyway, all of us on this stream. I don't presume
on the podcast.
Yes, on the podcast, we all enjoyed it. And we're just here to see what people thought, what people were thinking, what does this, how does this fit into the grand scheme of the K-drama BL stratosphere? How
which is pretty small. KBL's not all that many of them, really.
They're getting better. Like, there's been a lot more in the last couple of years than there certainly was before that.
Like, I realize that even now with this one, it's still technically a web drama, right? So it's not, like a full BL. But with how well it's doing, it's really only a matter of time before,
well, even just
the full-length one begins.
We're seeing a lot more, like, gay representation in the regular dramas, like the airing drama stuff. I'm watching that be melodramatic and like the brother is gay and he just is gay and but there's not a lot of focus on him as a character either. So he's there and he is gay, but he's not getting a huge plot so far anyway. I'm only 4 episodes in, so.
By the way, we're hoping that Jessie can join us later. She's not currently with us because a family event popped up. So we'll see if she'll be able to pop in or not. But so that's why there's only 3 Noonas at the moment.
Don't worry. We're still a troop of 4. Do not fret. Just, family stuff is family stuff.
She let us know that she hopes to pop in later. So we should be seeing her, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Lucy does make a good point that the bisexual representation or pansexual, it was unclear as to what, they were rocking with, was quite nice in this drama.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was all good. Like, it was just there, right? Like, that wasn't the plot. You know what I mean? Like, their sexuality wasn't the plot of the drama, which is
and wasn't really
nice
even important in terms of the overall scheme. I also really did like that the female character who was interested in what was his character name?
Jihae.
What
interested in Sangwoo?
Yeah, that was interested in Sangwoo. It wasn't like when you've seen many a BL, there's many times a female character who is interested in one of the men, but in like a really sort of evil way where they're just like, I don't believe that you like men, and I'm going to prove how much better it is to be with a woman, and I'm in denial about the other thing. And it's just like, no.
She was just like, I see you, and I'm not giving up.
Yeah, she's like, listen.
She's like, okay, you made your choice.
He's never openly stated that he's not interested in women. So therefore, I technically might still have a chance. We are on an even playing field, you and me, Jayyoung, okay? So I get it. You are suave and older and like sexy, but I have charms too.
She was always respectful and friendly and stuff.
Yeah.
Like she was a great character.
She really was.
Yeah.
Like she was a character you'd want to be a friend with and stuff.
All the girls were great. And that's so nice to see in a boy love drama.
And that there was more than one female character with a character name and a role in the plot. I say I love BLs, but like my guys, gay men have women friends. You know, there could be more than just one female in the cast of your show.
One hierarchy.
Like, it is possible. Yeah. I love that she's leaving the cafe after their date.
The laser eyes.
That's
I like when he always just smiles and winks at her, like,
hi. Always. It is so good.
Yeah. And it's like to the outsider, they'd be like, "Oh, he must be flirting with her," but the insiders, we know.
Yeah,
we know.
And she knows,
This was a cruel wink.
This is not him flirting with me. This is him saying, "Ha
nice try." But like, he wasn't even mean to her either. No. Like, it wasn't, there wasn't any sinister like plot going on in this show. He's like, you wish. Yeah, pretty much, Luffy. So I feel like, in terms of BL dramas, not even like KBLs, just BLs in general, this one was very much closer to people in reality and situations in reality than most BL dramas are.
Right.
Like, there wasn't, they're not uber rich or anything. They're not, perfect.
There was no supernatural element to it.
No,
there was no body swapping going on or whatever. It was just normal people.
I guess he did land a really fancy job.
Well, yeah, but like any people can do that. Like, he was talented.
It's a drama. He's allowed to get a fancy job.
Yeah. let us have this much part-time too,
I definitely
there weren't
felt
any
like
of those either.
When I was watching it that oh my goodness, I can't remember anybody's names right now, but the taller one, that he reminded me of a lot of guys. Yeah, he reminded me of a lot of guys that I knew in college. Like, just that guy who's kind of good at everything, but has like his more specific talents, but like gets by in the rest of his classes and is just popular and kind of nice and kind of chill, but like, like just is just that guy. Like, I was like, yeah, I know that guy. I knew that guy. I went to college with that guy. I went to college with a couple of that guy, right? Like,
listen, man, I was in film school. There were many of those guys.
That age group, like college confident dude, like he nailed it really well. Which is great because like I've seen him a lot out of character, and I'm not saying he's like a shrinking violet by any means, but he's definitely not cocky like that. He did really well.
When you watch the like behind the scenes, like the interviews and stuff, he seems much more subdued, much more sort of like not shy exactly, but just kind of like chill,
mature idol, as they do.
I sort of, this show, every time that there's a popular BL drama, there always has to be some like really dumb. The only word I can think of is dumb. Controversy. It's like not really controversy, but it's just like, guys, get it together, internet people. Get it together. And so for this one, there was like two that I saw. One was people being like, this drama, like the bullying was so bad. The bullying was so terrible. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was fucking just childish pranks at the most. Like, it was annoyances. It was not bullying. And I just remember laughing because I was like, like, every time someone says something like this, the first thing I think is, are we watching the same show here? He just annoyed him. He wasn't ruining his life and trying to get him to quit school.
Now, it felt like he was ruining his life a little bit with the whole joining all of his classes.
Yeah. But there was a time limit to that.
He was gonna drop them.
Yeah, even
you mean he wasn't gonna stay in advanced programming for the entire semester?
Even the character of Sang-woo knew that this was a time-based annoyance because he had to drop it within 2 weeks or it would like further fuck up his GPA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he would never graduate then.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so yes, if someone was annoying you like that, it would be annoying.
Right.
But it is not bullying, which is very different.
Also, it was never a personal thing. Like, it wasn't picking on his appearance or anything like that. It was more like, I'm just going to be in your presence.
Yeah,
that's really it.
An unusual kid, so there were things that a bully would have picked at, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do those things.
No.
So it never got ugly that way. I think you can make an argument, and I could see where if you have a personal history of maybe stalkerish stuff happening to you and things, where some of what was going on there, like, it could have, in a different light, I mean, he moves in next door to you, he's joined all your classes.
That wasn't even part of his plan.
I know, but like, I can
that's the drama coincidence thing.
Yeah, that's, you know.
You a little bit, because it's a little like, okay, hang on, like, you put a different set of music behind this, and suddenly we've got some really scary crap going on, right?
But it's like,
I think you're gonna deal with that with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like, you know, the further you reach into what is essentially a rom-com, like, the further you go down that rom-com rabbit hole by trying to put, like, real life scenarios to it, the worse off, like, the less you can just enjoy the show for the show.
What's really nice, in my opinion, was, I mean, there's a ton of dramas I do enjoy. Here's a secondary story, you know, like, oh, there's a competition and we're going to talk a lot about it. And sometimes you get really involved in that. But I thought it was pretty nice that, despite the fact that they were like working on the game or something, it was simple enough that really the story was just like Sang-woo warming up to him. Like, that was the entire plot, essentially.
Yeah,
which
because,
was
like,
nice.
I find sometimes, like, when you're watching some of these web dramas, they try to do, like, way too much with way too little time.
And they're like 7-minute
episodes. Yeah, and you're like, no, we can't have another subplot here.
Yeah.
Like,
we've got no time for side couples. We don't,
like,
I don't need, like, the dad's company is going under like,
no, like, this is like, you know, like, for example, like, I love the show, the web drama Mr. Heart, but why did we need that gangster plot? It was completely unnecessary. So it's just like,
stress that poor character out. Like, my goodness.
Like, hi Griselda. So it was simple. Just the simple, it kept to, like, it knew what it was doing. It didn't need to add, like, they had, like, partial, like, little hints of backstory, like, you know, like, his curly-haired cutie friend being in love with the girl, but, like, being like, I think she has a crush on you and I'm miserable. But then it was like, no, honey, we have a crush on the same man. Don't get it twisted. And it was just, you know, it was exactly Trish. It was a nice, simple romance. And, you know, it was nice.
I did enjoy the friendships and stuff, and how we did get a fair bit of screen time showing Jaeyoung's character and how he would interact with his friends. Since Sang-woo really didn't have friendships until Jihae and all that. And that was nice too. That the development of that relationship, like, we're friends, right? And she wasn't doing that to be weird. It's fine that she already had a crush, but it was, well, we've interacted enough. We're not strangers anymore. We're like classmates and stuff.
And it was to, like, it was sort of to assure him, like, yes, I am your friend. You can count on me as a friend. So, I am picking up what you're putting down, that you do not know how friendship works, and you may not recognize when someone wants to be your friend. So I am going to just tell you straight up, so you do not have to, like, try to interpret social cues that you do not understand or notice. I am your friend. This is friendship. I am offering.
This is what it looks like.
It's like that cherry magic coworker female, like, archetype. Like,
I love
pretty straightforward female, like, and like a cool chick that would be good to date, but like she's just gonna be okay with being a friend. Like, love it.
Yeah. And she's like, listen, don't get it wrong. I do have a crush on you. But if that doesn't work out, I'm still cool to be friends because that is how reality works. I just, the friend zone doesn't exist. Friends is a bonus. That is what you're aiming for.
We like
you
friends.
Want to be friends,
right.
Like, ay.
So how about we talk about Choi Yuha?
Oh,
Yuna. Sorry, my goodness.
She's so cool. She's what we aspire to be, right? Like,
I loved how much screen time she got. Loved it
so much.
So cool. What I loved is that like they're presenting Jaeyoung as like the coolest guy on campus. She is like 50 times cooler than he is in every single like metric.
Because he's over there getting a crush without knowing it and totally obsessing over Sangwoo, and she's like, "What is your deal, dude? You need to take it down 5 notches."
Chill, buddy. Like, good lord, you simp. Like, relax. And like, and I always love the character that's sort of like the voice of reason in a show.
Oh yeah, she's the squad leader for sure.
Exactly. So when someone, i.e. Jaeyoung is doing stupid shit, like buying all of the coffee, and she's like, this coffee tastes like garbage. What are you doing? You friggin' weirdo. And then he's just like, okay, no, don't worry. There's a
plan. It's so good.
Trust me. This is great. And she's like, you are the dumbest man alive. Like, y'all could have just showed up to that class and done your part in the project and not been part of this nonsense. But now you're just, you're gonna compound on your stupidity.
All right.
Good job. You did it. Hi, Joy. She's too cool. She's too cool.
Hey, Katie.
And she was like good in the plot as well. Like she was there. She was a character. She wasn't just scenery or backdrop or like just there to be the sounding board. She was a fully fleshed out character, and which is nice to see. It's always nice.
I did kind of like the instigating thing of the group project, the seniors not doing work.
Because that is very realistic. Like that, we have all been on a group project where you just wanted to murder every other person on your group. Because you're just like, why am I doing all the work here? Why am I alone?
My daughter came home furious because in one of her classes, the teacher, she's got one of the best grades in the class. And the teacher says, we're going to do group work, and you have to be in groups of 5, and there cannot be more than 2 people per group who has an 80% or higher average.
No.
I have never been in a situation like that.
No. Basically, she's telling us that 2 out of 5 people are going to do all the work for each group. Like, that's what she's basically said. Because nobody who has an 80% or higher average is going to be, like, stuck with 3 kids who are failing the class and be like,
no, that's garbage.
You do your part.
Now, if the teacher wanted to assign students and then not, like, that way, privately,
and then just not say that's what they're doing.
Fine. Whatever.
Right.
Because it's like assigned seating. It's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, this has the energy of the teachers who hand back tests in the order of like best marks to worst marks.
Oh,
did that ever happen to any of you?
I don't think so.
No. Like, and no, every time it happened, like, okay, I was always like top middle, like, so it was not that embarrassing for me, but like, I always felt so bad for, everyone else. Yay, Jessie's here! She made it! We're talking about how much we hate group projects.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
But
someone mentioned his terrible PowerPoint skills. Yes.
They were.
I loved how Jaeyoung brought that up. He's like, "Wow, that's really bad design." Well, before he was realizing his name was involved at all.
Yeah. And he's like, "Wow, that's a really terrible." See, now this is what we're talking about right here. They had a PowerPoint research project I was supposed to do with some guy in high school, and I ended up having to do the whole thing by myself. One of the most irritating points of my life. Exactly.
Oh.
You know what I always love though? So I was in when I was in high school, I was in a music class and twelfth grade music, and there was only 5 people in the class. The class was supposed to have been canceled, but there was an administrative error because under 8 people, the elective classes were supposed to be canceled. But we were overlooked, so we only had 5 people, and we'd had like a big group project where we actually formed a band and recorded a whole CD. Like we were called Misty and the Cosmic Pterodactyls because the teacher's name was Misty. So shout out if you have to find this.
If you're watching.
And I did most of the work because I was the only one who knew how to use the music mixing software. So I did all the recording and all the work. But then at the end of the class, but like it wasn't like a mean-spirited, like they were putting all the work on me. It was just I literally was the only one who knew how to use the recording equipment. So at the end, the teacher then said, okay, we all have to then like do a group assessment on what mark we think everyone in the group should get. And they all gave me A+. So
Good.
that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way better.
I
mean, in real life, the only thing in college that prevents you from pretty much selling out the people that don't do work is the knowledge that you probably have to be around those people for a few more years for other things and other classes.
Like depending on the size of the university,
But you're paying for those classes too. So
that's what makes it worse.
I really don't care. I'll like sell you out. Like
like I must say, like I will say this. So I have 2 degrees, and in my first one, communications, people screwed me so many times. Okay. Communications and film, those little fuckers. But the theology department,
they're nice and manipulative with their words.
You know what? I gotta say, the theology department, everyone always helped on the group projects. And I think because most of them were believers, and there was a certain what would Jesus do aspect to if
you have like looming over your head.
You could bring that guilt down really quick.
Oh yes, Nicole got chosen a lot for group work because I was the responsibility curse.
That always happened in jobs. Like I worked at a grocery store for years.
No, like
because I would do stuff like they'd be like, you should do it. No, make someone else.
I got a little tip for those seeking employment. Always half-ass it at work. Never put in 100%. Because you will be the only one putting in 100%, and they will expect you to continue to put in 100% all the time. Do bare minimum. Just do exactly what they're wanting. Just exacting.
So back to the show.
Yes, back to the show. Distracted easily. Lucy had a very fun comment. His skill screamed graphic design is no passion. Yes, they did.
Which, I mean, helped us to understand why he needed somebody to help him.
Needed lots of help with his
with that game.
Of his game, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucy also brings up the very cute and important point. Can we talk about him WebMDing his crush symptoms? So relatable.
Yeah.
You know?
Just Google. You're like, I don't know what's supposed to be going on.
Yeah, he's like, is this
thing?
What is this feeling? He's like, okay, I'm not used to actually having these.
And this is where if he had a friend, his friend would be, it's a crush. But WebMD is going to tell you you're dying. You know, you have cancer or something. You're having a stroke. You should go to the hospital.
Brain cancer or something.
Like, yeah.
1 second, we have a little visitor. One moment.
Tip-a-tappin'. That's all you hear. Do you have a really like?
He has thoughts about semantic error. That he
so many
to
thoughts,
share
and
with
he's
the crowd.
showing it all in Morse code, and none of us know. So
yeah.
Hello, that's right. The mascot is here. He cannot be without showing up. We cannot have a live stream without him. Without Diablo running in and being like, hey, I watched it too.
If you listen to the podcast, you can hear him in the background as well.
Yeah, you can definitely hear his little.
And then sometimes you just hear like Lizzie in the background.
Yeah, like so since he's so little, like his normally when dogs walk, it'll like sort of file their little claws, their little talons. No.
Well, not as much inside either.
Not when you only yeah. So I cut his nails a lot. Trish would like to discuss adorable height differences.
Yes.
Because
very
that was nice for that one.
Yes, I love a tall and a short.
Yeah.
I love a good tall short.
It's fun.
But like tall, slightly sunshine, and then like angry small.
Yeah, the angry short, the short ball of fury. Oh, yes.
And in the like behind the scenes bits and stuff, you really see it. Like there was one where they're standing there and he's like smushing him back against the like wall, and he's just like, "I'm tiny and this
Help me! I'm so small." No, this like
he's always like looking over. He's like, "Where is he? What's going on?"
But I did like I liked how the show handled it though, because you never felt like the way Jaeyoung would. His tall presence wasn't ever looming or like pressure.
Yeah.
He would always give him plenty of space, especially
it wasn't
once
like
he figured out like
a mean presence.
Like and he would once he was told like I don't like to be surprise touched, like he followed like I'm gonna follow that too. Like he never screwed with that stuff. Which was
Lucy, you're pushing it on those YouTube memories. But listen, I made a very important guidelines at the beginning. YouTube guidelines acceptable. You're pushing it. You're pushing it, Lucy.
No, we'd really like to keep this up.
Okay. No,
side note, the idol group that he used to be in, K&K, they were all super tall.
Yeah, they
were.
They
were tall mountains of men.
Did they have like the one that was small? They're the ones that had that like like one where he's like hanging off the arm. Is that them?
Oh yeah. But I like too that they would do the height difference thing, but then also he would like come down to his height when he was trying to like have a real conversation or get, he didn't loom over him, but he also didn't come down as if he were talking to a child. It was just more of like, let me put you more at ease. I'll come down and talk to you face to face instead of.
I also always love seeing this because I'm always like, oh, he's so little and so cute. He's taller than me. Like, 100%. Like, and they're all taller than me. Like, yeah, exactly. So, so he was 5'10". They're talking about the shortest member. He was 5'10", which is significantly taller than I am. But I'm like,
that's a little over 2 inches taller than me.
Yeah, and you're the tallest out of the group.
Yeah, it was really funny. Just side note for like the chat. So when we met in person, like we of course don't know each other's heights. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we're all like
we all look the same height.
We all look the same height on the computer screen.
and we had discussed it before a little, just in passing, like, oh, so and so short or whatever. Yeah. But like when it was pretty funny in person. I was like, hello, like I was really taller than everybody else.
Hello down there.
We went to like a grocery store and stuff. It was like I was the mom, and like everyone was like,
I really did have that energy.
You'd be like, you sure? You don't want to buy anything? Really?
No.
You don't want to buy anything?
I was making sure everyone was eating.
She's like, you sure you don't want to put that in the cart? And we're like, okay, Mom.
No, us at H-Mart.
We cleaned.
Sorry. Or derailing. This is a semantic
but the tall and small was really cute, and they handled it really well. And
yeah.
I enjoyed how he never made fun of him. That's always a thing.
Yeah. And then they used it in those like moments where it was just like very sweet and cute, and you're like, oh.
Like they had a like I get it, Okay, Jayyoung was kind of like an annoying person for the first half of the show. Like that was kind of the vibe, but like I think that they're just such a perfect little couple, such a nice little dynamic. Like you just think like I like this. Like I see that you've grown weary of being up here. Goodbye, Diablo. He leaves again. So Okay, so we got into this because we first started talking about people overanalyzing and nonsense way back in the day. We were talking about bullying. Now I got to bring up the second one.
Oh, the second
the
show
piece of nonsense, which was people getting real upset that Sang-woo kissed Jaeyoung while he was sleeping. I'm like, okay, one, I get it. In real life, don't do that. But in terms of a rom-com, this is pretty tame behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked about in the episode, it was definitely more of like a visual reference for us to figure out what he's going on and kind of also show
because they don't have
him like
monologue,
finally letting go of his emotions and not like constantly holding himself back from them. So like it's a visual cue. Yes, it's wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. But obviously he was awake and it wasn't like done in a malicious thing. And it was kind of done as like he wasn't even thinking about it. And that's the key. He wasn't thinking about it. And it was kind of the first time he hadn't like thought like overanalyze things and just kind of did it. So you get where they're going, you know?
Yeah, I mean, especially when it came right after the whole, like, the searching out the WebMD stuff and everything, it was almost like he was testing it. Like, is this actually what it is? Or am I having a stroke? Like,
and then also,
like,
and then let's be clear, Jayyoung had very strong implied consent that he would be down to clown.
Oh, yeah,
with
absolutely.
This sort of behavior. Like, you know, Mike says, this was really a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, apparently for
what's wild to me is that then in another drama that's airing right now, the female lead apparently blacked out, passed out in the middle.
That's a whole different thing.
That's not even. That's,
we're not going to go there.
Unrelated, and also not as bad as everyone was saying.
And people don't get upset about it, but then they see this and they do get upset, and you're like, okay, but what's the? Okay.
I'm going to go on record and say in both of these instances, in context of the show, neither of them were objectionable or upsettable. And I think people need to chill.
But that's a whole
other
suggesting we should get into that. When you see somebody who's really angry about one but not about the other, you question what's the difference in your mind that this one's okay and this one's not, right? Like that's where I am curious.
It's just so many things, like, and that's just the way art and media and things, we all do have different perspectives when it comes to like where we draw the line with things, what does make us uncomfortable. And if something makes them uncomfortable, it's whatever.
You can stop watching.
That's fine. Right. Totally legit. But we also have to realize that sometimes within storytelling, there's nuance, like specifically with Semantic Error. I think there were like about 3 levels of things going on with that kiss. It wasn't simply, here's a kiss. It was communicating emotion through a character that doesn't typically show emotion. Like all these other things. There's a lot going on. He was obviously awake. So, I mean, there's nuance there. The other situation in the other show was there were levels with that. And some people look at the face value and then they're like, boom, this is my judgment of it. Okay, that's the face value judgment you pulled. That's fine.
But it's not accurate.
Narratively, sometimes there are 3 levels that you at least have to say, they were probably also presenting this. Not to excuse bad behavior.
Listen, bad behavior is bad behavior. But like, in terms of storytelling, there's context and nuance to everything.
Yeah.
And yes, and as Nicole says, it's okay to show action with the expectation not to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We're not saying you should live your life like a K-drama because
don't use these
please don't do that.
Please don't.
Please don't live your life like a rom-com. It will not end well for you. This is for a reason.
No, Semantic Error, nothing really crazy went on, so it really wouldn't be that bad.
And you know what? I feel like there was some really important lessons that could be learned from, say, if you are a neurotypical person who happens to have a crush on a neuroatypical person, that this show actually provides really good ways to communicate.
Yeah.
And to like
supernatural, like it's not supernatural, super comma natural. I did enjoy how they never showed the Jayyoung character being like, oh, I'm so puzzled and I have to like figure out how to interact with him because he's different. It was just, oh, he wants me to tell him before I touch him. Cool, I'm gonna do that.
He doesn't question it at all. That's really nice.
He needs some more space. Okay, I give him more space. Like, it was never this. It wasn't an obstacle. Like,
he wasn't using him as like a case study or anything. You know, like he was like, oh, this is a new type of person, and I've got to figure them out. And he's just like, that's.
And he also like never treated him like he was abnormal in any way. Like he wasn't making making fun of him for the way that he reacted to things or the way that, you know, his mind worked. He was working within that. And he said, okay, that's just the way this guy is. And that's cool. And I'm still into this. Like,
I will say,
Jayyoung, my attention, sir.
In general, his emotional intelligence was very high.
Yeah.
Like,
so
it's not just because he's known so many people and probably dated so many people, according to the numbers, like, he learned a lot about people and he figured it out.
Not only were they tall and short, you were presented with extremely high emotional intelligence and no emotional intelligence.
They were
and what a lovely, like, you know.
When opposites attract.
Exactly, Mike. You also got the feeling that they were both fully developed people, that they had, that they as characters had full backstories that you might not get because it's an 8-episode web drama. You're obviously not like, thank God this show did not would be like, you know what this show needs? 5 million flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, experiencing that they've, you know, like, oh God, that would have been awful.
Yeah. We've also seen that, like, even the minor characters were given respect into, like, being a kind of as fleshed out as they possibly could within the time constraints. I mean, like, even the, you know, the female lead, like, she wasn't in it a lot, but you had this, like, knowledge of what type of person she is. And you kind of like, like, it wasn't like a mysterious thing for you or trying to figure out what, like, she was going to do. She kind of did what you thought she was going to do because they gave her, like, character a bit more.
Like, clearly, I mean, I know it's based on a written, you know, a manga or whatever,
a novel,
but
which
clearly
manga,
they looked at that and said, okay, all these characters exist and they have these full stories and they have this, and we're going to write them like they have all that, but we're not going to try and tell you what all of that is because that we don't have the time for that. Like, sometimes you're watching something and it feels like, the writer created really fully rounded characters and that's great. But then they were sort of like, man, I have like these pages and pages of notes on their backstory. I got to share it with somebody. Like, everyone needs to hear this. And you're like, oh, that was for you. It does not relate to my story at all. So,
well, you know, like good acting is, you know, everything about your character. And even if none of that information is ever revealed to the audience, you know it. And then you have to act as that person would. So,
but you should be able to put yourself in places that you don't see on screen.
It was nice, though, that we did get to know eventually that the lead female, that she was also bi as well. Like, it was nice that they put that in the lines, actually, because, like, we could have just assumed, but it was nice, that representation, that little bit bonus points for sure.
Yeah, exactly, Trish. Like, and I feel like the story really made it clear that these were full-fledged characters that did have backgrounds, that even if you don't know what their childhoods were like, you can probably, like, gleam a little bit about what their lives have been like up until this point, you know.
And I will say, compared to the, you know, the typical short BLs, a lot of the side characters, you don't necessarily get a huge feeling that they have a lot going on.
No, they're just there to deliver some exposition and move along.
I will say, his poor little best friend was definitely the, like, on the chopping block of like
Yeah.
development.
He was so cute.
We barely saw him anyway.
Little
So that's
afro.
okay.
We're gonna give him curly hair, and he's really gonna have a crush on that girl.
And the
that's what
only,
it's gonna
the only
do.
backstory, the only things you're going to know about him is he is the third favorite. Like, he's the least favorite in their group, which is why he's always stuck dragging their drunk asses home and carrying all their shit. And he used to be chubby, and they all miss when he was chubby. That's the only backstory you're getting from this guy. Okay? Like, I want more from him. I feel like this was his first acting role.
It might have been. I didn't recognize him.
It is the only thing on his my drama list at the moment, and they're usually pretty. What's the word I'm looking for
on
here?
top of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know all the weird little things they've done.
This show is popular enough. Someone would have done the digging if he was.
Yeah, they would have like submitted a little thing.
Yeah, and I agree that they did, and
you can tell that they did. Like you can actually like see that they really did kind of like want to like preserve what the source material was and respect the characters too. Like the characters they were playing, I thought they respected them.
Like I'm saying, like Park Seo-young played Jaeyoung like every chaotic bisexual I've ever met in real life. He's very like charming. So A+. And like, you know, this let's, you know, okay, Korea and homophobia is you know, hand in hand. We hope that it's getting better these days. But like, it's nice to see them being like, yeah, you know, it's a role and I liked it and I'd do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you after I'm out of the military.
He's like, what will I do before I enlist? This one.
You know? What did I saw a joke that it's like, is this what idols are doing now? They'll do something gay and then go into the military. And I'm like, I'm cool with it. I mean, you know, like if
all right.
George is bringing up that it also translated to a huge surge of popularity for DKZ, which was Donkids, but it's now DKZ because I think last week they changed their name and added some new members and a couple members left. So that's cool, or something. I'm not that familiar.
As far as the members, one has an injury, so it's like kind of anyway. It's all
So it is really nice that that they're trying, and I you know what, I gotta give it to the anonymous netizen who really thought they had something there with the unfounded bullying accusations. Chef's kiss. You did your best. But I feel like, you know, I feel like these companies are really getting wise to this nonsense at this point, and they're just like,
I don't care anymore.
We're
not doing it.
You now. Like,
first couple were nice. Now we're not.
Like, listen, for the first couple, we pulled them off TV and like, you know, made them sit in the basement for a while. But now, like, listen, give us the receipts or get the fuck out. You know?
Well, I mean, can you imagine across the board? So when that all happened, what, a year or two ago? Like the first bullying accusation.
The whole string of them. Yeah.
Can you imagine that probably every single idol had to sit down with their company to go through everything of their past because no one wants to be surprised from then on?
We need to know now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Because we're going to either disappear it or we're going to feel like stuff needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and some of these accusations are just so fucking ludicrous and so stupid. Where it's like, oh, he was mean to me in middle school. I'm like, we were all mean to someone in middle school. Get over it. Like, chill. Like, someone was mean to us in middle school too. You don't see us calling up their boss and being like, you should fire your employee because when they were 11 years old, they pushed me in the dirt. Like,
I'm telling you, that Lori, she stole like 2 of my library books. I had to pay for those things. I am tracking her down. Like,
I just like, listen, we're not saying that bullying isn't bad.
Yeah, and
is,
that
yes.
there aren't like actual legitimate bullies that happen to be idols as well. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
statistically speaking, there has
be.
to be. Okay,
But like that amount in that short of time, maybe if
fun.
whatever like
always
group
the
message
timing.
happened, maybe they should have
And-
like worked on timing. Like
Mhm.
that's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
And so then
Be less
this had
obvious,
to come
you know?
out now, just when things were getting good for this kid. Why didn't it come out then? Why, when all of the bullying stories were coming out, why didn't this person come forward then? I wonder.
What's the mystery?
I wonder
Like,
why.
it's right, Trish. Hella suspicious. It's always hella suspicious. Like,
It's also like really bad because there are legitimate people who now won't be able to speak up because people just assume that they are lying when they weren't. And it's just both ways. It's just a bad look. So stop it.
Not all around.
I will say that I do appreciate now that companies are stopping the automatically make the person apologize before it's proven that they didn't actually do anything and it's all bullshit. Because that was a rough time where it's just like, okay, you got to stop making them apologize for just
I'm sure that's still
nonsense.
a thing.
Like, I'm sure, like, but at least in this case,
in this case, that didn't happen was very nice.
Yeah. But in this case, the CEO was like, "Not on my watch. I'm sorry, we're not playing these games."
Well, and I like how
he
got his new company that he signed with, and then enlisted, and pretty much the company is like, "We're not screwing around. Like, no, we're not. Do not come to us with stuff. Like, we will shut that down."
Yeah. And it's just, anyway, I think that my opinions on netizens as a whole have been well documented through the many years of our podcasts. Because I'm like, oh, netizens are just as a unit. I'm not saying individual people on the internet are idiots, but just netizens. You know who I mean. Dumbest fucking people who've ever existed, and like they get into a group and lose all their brain cells. Unbelievable.
True.
Is there anything else about the show that we want to discuss?
I kind of want to try one of those cans of coffee now.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's terrible, but I like.
But it did something.
It
seemed like it was just like a cheap Americano. Which no, thank you. Like I can't drink coffee to begin with, but
you won't
a watered down espresso. No, thank you. Yeah. I do not understand how people drink Americanos at all. And like
I'd still try it though.
I feel like the next time we go to H Mart, it might be there. Right next to the Park Seo-joon.
They'll both be on the can.
I use soju.
Park Seo-joon, seaweed,
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet that their sales surged, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Like, I haven't seen that in an article or anything, but I would be willing to bet.
Like, I wonder if it's actually a real coffee. And the reason I say this is because it was that coffee in the webtoon. Like, it was the same brand. So I don't know, like
missed opportunity if it wasn't.
If it wasn't
yeah, it's possible. It actually just was like a fake thing.
So Mike says he's hoping for a sequel after So-am comes out of the military. I'd be down with that. I feel like there's some ripe story to mine here. I feel like. You've got the whole...
I do think it's a fake company.
Okay.
Based on Google image search. That's some deep research, right?
Yeah, it's a Google image search.
I'm just saying. My assumption based on what I'm seeing is...
I hope that if we don't get a sequel, they come out with another BL that's kind of at this level. Or, I mean, I would go with GL, but I don't I don't think Korea's ready for that. So
we all hope GL, but let's be real here. We gotta
I mean,
work
like
through
no,
GLs
the
and then make
places
it
that
to the
actually like
GLs.
have like a pretty like massive amount of BLs still aren't ready for GL. So
yeah.
Given the level of success that Semantic Error had, what would be nice would be, you know, it's fine, get a second season with those two main characters, but then get a spin-off of Yuna.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes. Listen,
gosh, that would be it.
I just really hope that with the success of this, that perhaps, you know, full length, you know, queer stories could possibly be a thing.
Longer.
Yeah, it is kind of inching there, you know.
Yeah, they've started adding like secondary characters, getting, you know, a queer storyline. Let's get, you know, a main one. I feel like the world is ready. You know, the world is ready for the Netflix. I know Netflix, you're listening.
Well,
Netflix is always listening. Your time is now. You know, jump on that while the iron's hot.
I feel like if it's gonna happen, I could really see, like, because Netflix doesn't care, Netflix will do it. So if there's a place for it, that might be the starter place. You know what I mean? Like that might be the place where we get an 8 to 12 episode
with hour-long episodes. None of this half an hour bullshit. We want the full. Listen, I want to see the friggin' CEO of the company that we don't quite know what the company does fall in love with the mailroom clerk. Okay, I just want. I want it. I want a kimchi slap in this.
You want
okay? Give me the full office. Give me the full experience.
You want gay mahjong?
I would love a gay no.
Oh my gosh.
I would
absolutely.
Like a gay weekender? Yes, please. Gay weekender. Gay weekender. Oh. No, I would.
A gay family weekender. That would be really fun.
The passion I had for like young lady and gentleman. Imagine if it was like young man and gentleman. I would have been even more feral for that. Okay, just putting it out there. Thank you, Joy. Joy's always on my side on this.
I will say, I don't think that Netflix would necessarily hop on the mahjong.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Perhaps not. Perhaps not.
Maybe they would.
I think the mahjong, they will definitely not have on the family drama.
That marriage and divorce thing going on too. So.
I would be a little nervous for K-dramas to go gay mahjong initially. Because I feel like we get too much.
I feel like we gotta
kill your gays.
We gotta build up to the gay.
Okay? We gotta get like the 8 to 12.
That's the goal.
Yeah. We gotta get like the 10 episode rom-com gay. Then we can move into
like a mahjong. Give me like a crime thriller, like
gay crime thriller, things like
that. You gotta take those. You gotta take the little baby
gay sci-fi. Because I mean, hey, there's gonna be a rom-com in space soon, so like
gay space operas are
gay space, like gay. Lesbians in space. We did create a fake drama called Lesbians in Space Lesbians.
We'll have to dust that off. Send it in somewhere. Send it to Netflix.
Yeah, to be like, Netflix, we got the K-drama for you. We know.
Even with casting notes.
We've got casting notes. We think like a really epic lesbian space opera is definitely what you need in this world. You know. I would like, but I feel like this is a good thing for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think
to bring
it back. I think the popularity is really going to help, and I would like actually see that Watcha would be more willing to put on some more BLs too. I think that is probably going to be the most guaranteed thing about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them. The musical theater world is a little bit kinder. Yeah. I mean, they've loved like Hedwig and the Angry Itch for a very long time.
Yeah,
as like Korea,
too.
They're good on those.
And then
so
the one
think
MJ was in, what was it? I'm just totally blanking right now.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god! What is it? I know the name. It's on the tip of my brain.
You know, the kid that he dresses in drag. Man, I could not think of the title at all. Anyway, Jo Kwon and MJ.
Jo Kwon,
Yeah.
just Jo Kwon, just Jo Kwon. This is, his entire thing, right? His entire vibe.
Yeah. So
Jamie, thank you. Yes.
Yes,
Something
thank
about
you.
Jamie or
I don't think I ever would have gotten
Katie.
there.
Just Katie's always here helping
Yeah.
us. There we go.
everyone is talking about Jamie. We got it.
Thank you.
There we
did
go.
it.
Our group
Names.
project work.
We're back.
Yeah, we did. Like this is the detective work going on in this comment section. They all chef's kiss. The Lottie is. So Trish says that she read something about a full-length historical gay drama, and you know what? The historical is a good jumping off point.
Yeah.
Like the Seguk is a good jumping off point for,
They've kind of inched towards that, like the Mr. Queen thing.
Mhm.
I'm totally not like, it depends on how you look at that one. As far as
Right.
like male soul within a female body,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's more queer than not, for sure.
That's
in my
true.
opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's a step.
Yeah, and then they've got, and they're already primed because there's so many women pretending to be
Cross-dressing.
men,
Yes.
So why not
Body swapping.
follow that to its logical conclusion here?
Mhm.
Oh, so he says, I hear that they did a fantastic stage run of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm sure.
They would,
I'm sure they did.
I feel like they put their whole stageacy into it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't live on TikTok. I knew Jessie would say that one, but I'm sorry for anyone else who doesn't.
That's it. I'm not really on TikTok that much, but that's getting to be a thing on Twitter. At least in K-pop circles that I've seen.
If you have listened to the past half a year of podcast episodes, without fail, Natalia and I will have one TikTok reference.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves.
I can't. It just happens.
Like literally every time a man does something stupid, one of us will go, "Men are stupid and we don't respect them." we have too much fun. Joy has a good point. She says historicals, that's good because in ancient time they had eunuchs sneaking in sex workers and falling in love and dying or running away. The classic Licorn, but just we pull it into a nice historical Seguk. Listen,
everything before Western
clear,
influence.
The clear disclaimer at the beginning that these are not real people and this is not real history and we are not doing things that will get us canceled later. But, within that disclaimer framework, you get to say, I think for modern audiences, that they can go, oh, that's a different time, right? They things were different back then. So they can maybe accept it more.
I always love this concept that somehow people were fundamentally different in the olden times. When you see people there weren't all these gay people in the 50s. Yeah, there were.
Yeah, that's not a brand new invention.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? It's it was a really fun bit on the show Psych, if anyone has ever seen this, where they're going to a Sherlock Holmes stage play and the character of Gus is why are there no black people? And they're like, oh, well, this was set in 1800s. He's like, oh, what, black people weren't invented in the 1800s? It's right? Exactly. Lucy, I do know the answer. I'm just going to pull this up quickly. There's already a Korean film with King's gay lover and his queen falling in love. The movie is called A Frozen Flower, and it is a lot of nudity. So do not watch it around children or people with heart conditions.
Yeah, a lot of Korean movies don't.
Yeah, Korean movies are they're wild. They got some wild
if you want to talk queer representation, I mean, Handmaiden.
Our EJ who was on one in the soldiers one. Do you know what was that one?
Oh yeah. That was very.
To watch it, but I couldn't find it. Also,
I was able to watch it all. I don't remember what the name of it was.
I saw a really funny.
I think it's an indie art house film too.
I saw a really funny Handmaiden meme going around where it's a scene from the show where she is performing cunnilingus, and then like it's just like a clip, and then the comment that someone made was, "Oh, what kind of lip gloss is she using?" And then someone from a lip gloss company, not realizing it was actually replied like, "Oh, you should check out this lip gloss," and they're all like, "Oh, bestie, no,
Read the room,
man, that
That's
gives
really
me
funny.
so many rounds last week or whatever when people were like, somebody tweeted about 2521 and they were like, she saved her first kids for nephew,
and we're like,
everyone's like, hey, she's a 30-year-old
you sure about that, friend?
Here's a gift. Enjoy that.
Like, I don't think she did. But okay, if you wanna believe that. Yeah, King of the Clown that's a good movie. Lee Jung-gi, great film. A little bit of an older.
The Lee Ji-hoon thing
situation.
was Just Friends ? That was the title of that one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's like a little short.
That's a good one. Just know that there's also like a campy like musical number involved as well.
It takes a bizarre turn.
It just does.
Like the first half is a very nice little like indie film about, you know, being gay in a homophobic society. And then there's a fun. Oh, we have another guest. Hello.
She's like, I hate this so much. Lizzie, do you hate me?
Without the musical number, it would just be a very nice indie moment. I'm just not sure what to say about it with the musical number, though. So it exists.
It's there. I do know that if you like sort of more indie stuff, Gaga Ulala has a lot of the Strongberry stuff on that, which is like they make short indie gay like shorts essentially. Yeah, so they're like all like 20 minutes at the most, sort of. There's a few longer, shorter, you know.
There is a KGL that I keep meaning to watch on Gaga Ulala that involves the actress that was in how am I just blanking on this? Shoot.
Wasn't there one that was supposed to happen?
I think so, but there's one that's been out. It seemed very indie, like it's been out for a couple years. It's just very little known. But the actress played a trans person in
EL?
Netflix show.
EL? Because she was in It's Okay. That's Okay to Love. Right?
Was she in?
It was about the restaurant.
Itaewon Class. She played it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was going to the
I feel
other.
like we're playing a game. So the trans character in that.
Okay, so
she was
the
trans character,
medical examiner and ghost doctor or ghost detective.
So she's in a KGL that's on Gaga Ulala. I think I just haven't made a moment to go watch it yet.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a movie or if it's episodic. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's quite a few like options. Like if you go to Gaga Ulala, we are not sponsored by Gaga Ulala. I just need to point out. But like, listen, we're here, Gaga Ulala. We are welcome to any opportunities. But if you just literally go to Gaga Ulala and search Korea, like it'll bring you quite a sizable.
There's a good amount of movies. Also, Asian Crush tends to pick them up as well.
Also, Asian Crush. We're always here.
Asian Crush. I mean, really. I've been a fan of you since you were in beta. So
and I think I've been using Gaga Ulala since they were in beta too. Like
there we go. We're OG.
We're OG sponsor. I pay for premium.
I pay for premium on Asian Crush
and Asian Crush. Come on, we're here for you. Yes. That's right. It's where all the gay lives.
An Algorithm is the name of the movie, I believe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is made in 2017. It seems very serious stuff as far as like suicide attempt stuff involved. So I mean, if you're looking for light, fluffy
Perhaps
do not go there. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So there's stuff.
But we hope for more. We would like to see more new.
We would like more mainstream.
Yeah.
Of a more diverse nature. We're here. We're here.
Asian Crush is always good. We were saying that.
Yeah.
I was focused on finding information.
Anything else about Semantic Error too?
If you haven't watched the behind the scenes stuff, at least go watch a couple of the things that Watcha put on their YouTube. We have links in our podcast notes on our website. If you haven't seen it yet, you should. If you've already seen it, go rewatch it because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy the game they played with the box, like feeling of the stuff and how Soham totally kicked Jay Chan's chair stool out of the way and they just laughed and laughed.
So
good times.
Lily says, can we talk about the camera work in the series? I love how things were shot. It was beautiful cinematography.
Yeah.
It was a very well made series.
It's actually kind of like surprising. Like some of the shots I think they set up I wasn't expecting because of just like knowledge that it's not like they put in that much money into the series. So
it's still a web series at the end.
Yeah, I still sit and like some of those shots I was just like, this is really nice. They really like set this up really well and actually like they cared. Like you could tell they kind of cared.
But they had a team that was passionate about the project they were working on.
Yeah.
And they were using their budget to their best of their ability. Like Lucy, the lighting was beautiful.
It makes me look forward to whatever Watch is going to put out. It really makes me see what they're going to have across the board.
That's right. They worked extremely well with what they had.
Yeah.
And
if you showed me an episode of it, and if like 10 minutes of an episode and asked me like, is this normal level drama production? I would have been like, maybe. Like I would have not been able to tell you it was necessarily a web drama off the top of my head.
Yeah, like it looked like it didn't look like a web drama because no hate to web dramas. I love web dramas. Okay. But usually you can tell it's a web drama. You can, like
choices were made for web dramas.
Yes.
Like obviously, they don't have the budget, so they can't get the nicer cameras and that sort of thing.
Like they don't have, they work, they use a lot of natural lighting because that's free. Like, I no hate on what I'm about to say. I'm really enjoying Cherry Blossoms After Winter. But you can tell that one production team had a better budget than the other for a similarly like paced and length show. That one looks significantly better than the other.
At least the sets and stuff are pretty decent for that one. Like they have a nice house.
They do have a nice house.
House set at least.
See, there's a powerful chaebol. The alley scene with the neon lights. Listen, a good neon light, like that like the lighting effect, like you get like the side light and stuff. Yeah,
and all the restaurant scenes and stuff, it just made you feel like you would want to be there. Like it was always just inviting feeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, see, Joy gets it. The Cherry Blossom filming, it's the same as a daily. Like, it does have that, like, sort of, like, soap opera, like, soft focus feel
but
to it.
If you compare it to a lot of other web dramas, it's still doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's a good drama. Like, I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
I'm just saying, production quality, like, it's okay. It's not like they're only in the classroom.
It doesn't look like it was filmed on, like a cell phone. Like it looked like it was, like that they're making an
I'm just saying,
show.
There's plenty of web dramas and even BL specifically that definitely look like they were filmed on a cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
what? If you have to do it, you have to do it.
Do what you gotta do.
Art does not stop.
Yep.
Like I have seen some creative filmmaking in my day. Like, tying a camera to like a toy car to get that dolly shot. You do what you gotta do. Like I was in film school and we did some questionable things. Like, the amount of time we just use, car lights, like, headlights as lighting. Like, with two people holding a sheet in front of them. Like you do what you gotta do. You
really do.
what you gotta do.
But yes, cherry blossoms after winter, like it does have a good height difference.
I've ignored my fair share of
Even more
potato
so.
quality for good story and chemistry.
I mean,
Hey,
we all
listen.
have, Lucy.
We all, like, almost all of us have watched, like, really, really bad, poor, like, 18-part YouTube, like, cuts of things.
Oh,
So really,
like
we can't say much
240p,
of anything. Yeah.
240p quality.
I
We've
mean,
all
even
been there.
just when the pandemic first started, there, like, that year, there was, like, a weird amount of, like, people were still making dramas, but they were shooting them at home on their web
Yeah, their
cameras,
webcams and stuff.
you know, and, like, they told some really good stories that way. Like, it wasn't,
through
you know,
Zoom.
the quality wasn't great, but they explained
The
it, right?
storytelling
Like,
was
this
good.
story
Yeah.
is being told through Zoom, so, like,
Listen, art
excuse
never
the Zoom
stops. You do what
quality
you gotta do.
and enjoy
you
the
know?
story, and they
Mhm.
were good stories. So, like, okay,
Art never stops. If you have like a story that you're passionate about, if you just keep working at it, you'll get it made.
Because obviously, you know, people will watch it. We will watch it.
Yeah. Listen,
I'll
the
give it a
audience,
try.
like, even if you think like there's no audience, listen, I watch.
There's
anything.
probably an audience.
I will watch whatever you come up with. Trust me, I have no boundaries to what you can put in. I will give it a college
It is funny.
try.
Once every few years, Natalia will be like, "I dropped this."
I know,
It's
like,
whoa,
we're all like, whoa.
Like, and if I drop a show, it's surprising.
It,
But
it really is.
I will say I usually have a really good reason for why I did too. Like, and I can justify my drops. Like, to be like.
Meanwhile, Jesse's like, bye.
Yeah.
I know, me too.
2 episodes, bye.
My dropped list and my completed list is, like, I think the drop list is longer for 2022 so far. I'm like, I gotta start finishing some dramas. Like, I gotta make better choices.
Yeah,
Like,
chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That really does help. Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
And not even
Good
just like the
acting.
chemistry, like the knowledge of like people being there because they want to be there and to want to make the work. Like, even if you are doing it literally on an iPhone in someone's house, I think that translates on screen in ways that I don't think they even expect. So like there's that like kind of like knowledge of like them just, you know, being respectful of what they're doing and want to produce something nice, even if they don't have the budget for it.
Like, you can always tell when passion went behind something. Like, and it's very obvious on like webtoons, especially, that if a project has passion behind it, or a project is just being made as elaborate PPL, like you can you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like there's
some even too, like some of
Some
those
of the
food
PPL
dramas
are
are very
funny.
cute. Or like they'll do like, especially some of the J dramas that are food dramas where they'll like do the drama and they'll set it in a like a restaurant, and then it's like tourism for that restaurant. They're like cute. It's a fun way of like showing off those places and kind of helping tourism within a drama. So
like if we're talking about like questionable quality made during pandemic, but it's still the greatest thing ever, we got to talk about the show Ingredients, which was a Thai BL, which it was basically just PPL for a grocery store and also washing your hands. And it is like the amount of hand washing porn in this show. And there's only like 2 characters for most of it, and they're just roommates. They were roommates. But it is like such a delight, and it's just like it's
a good show.
It
was just so comfortable, comforting, comfortable, enjoyable. Soft.
And for how incredible the filming was for Semantic Error, it would have not hit so hard if not for their.
That's true. Yeah,
they really true.
And also,
they obviously had fun too. Like,
I
love any show where it's obvious that the cast and crew had a good time filming together. Like, catnip for me. Like, even if I'm not interested in the story, I'm like, I'll watch a little bit because you guys had fun making it. Like, makes me want to watch it more. And it's obvious that they really did enjoy making Semantic Error.
Yes, definitely.
And then, as Katie says, them liking each other as people outside of the work helped. And I think KBLs could benefit from the workshops that Thai BLs do. I also agree that most shows could benefit from doing a workshop.
That's definitely a thing that I've seen that Korea doesn't implement in their.
Yeah.
They also do a lot of casting not through actual auditions.
Yeah,
which is also a thing that because you never see people actually like audition together, so you get the
you
actual
gotta do those screen
chemistry,
tests, right?
Yeah, like some people are really good and they can just get onto any set, and like I get it, you need money to make stuff, so you're gonna have these like stars. I mean, we're not immune to it here in the Western world, but like you can definitely tell good majority of their casting is not through auditioning, and that does kind of hurt.
So it's like, listen, we're not here to say that Thai television is superior to Korean television. We're just saying that they put those boys in rooms together and make them do activities.
It builds trust and stuff too in order to be comfortable to like work with that person in a more intimate show and stuff. So
because you'll see those all the time in the little like in the interviews or the behind the scenes stuff, and they'll be like show them a really like intimate scene from something that was really important to the characters or something, and they'll be like, didn't we film that on the first day? It was the first time I met you, like kind of thing. And you're like, okay, this was a scene that needed some like context, and you filmed it the first time you met. Like, no wonder it maybe felt a little awkward or not.
That is kind of the problem, just with like filming in general, because it's never filmed.
And it's also it depends on like you might have to film that scene first because of the location,
location contracts, like
or something. So
absolutely,
if you have these workshops ahead of time and can get to know each other and flesh out your characters a bit more, you're not going in just like, well, hello, handshake, hello, first time, okay, shall we remove our clothing and start making out? Like, acting is great, but that would be awkward for even the most seasoned of actors. Indeed. So I think Semantic Error did a really good job at what it did, and is a really good sort of standard for what other BLs could sort of aspire to being. But like, I find it so silly that we have to say this, that BLs specifically, because like any sort of drama could be this good. It doesn't matter the context of the relationship status or even the genre, because this was very good in the sense that the characters for even the web drama were incredibly fleshed out. It was well acted. It was well written.
Pacing was good.
The pacing was wonderful. It didn't get bogged down in a billion flashbacks and unnecessary
drama.
They placed the characters at their age range and not like younger or older.
They didn't have to go through how they knew each other as children and forgot.
They're not
listen, it didn't get bogged down in tropes while still like maintaining tropes at the same time without making them seem tired, and that's right. Everyone was hitting it out of the park. That's right, Trish.
I do hope it'll be something that like other creators will look at, and then maybe we will like as an example, and then they can do their own versions, not own version of Semantic Error,
but like
do
their story.
Right. Like,
they can do their story.
Apply, the things from Semantic Error that did well. Let's do this take on.
I hope that this doesn't start a thing where they just take questionable manhwas and make questionable shows, because that's always a worry too. When you go too far in the wrong direction, where they're like, oh, we can do gay stories now. Let's pick the most deranged gay manhwas and make those. And you're just like, ooh, maybe dial it back a bit. You've gone too far. But there's a story for everyone.
Even for Semantic Error, you had said that you had read it before, right, Natalia?
Yeah, I had read the manhwa.
So don't go in expecting it to be the level of fluff that that Semantic Error the show was.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Like I gotta be honest, the characters are a lot more likable in the show. And there's no homophobia. So that's I know that's not reality, but we don't always have to watch dramas to be dosed in the reality of life. We can just have a good time sometimes too. So yeah, any female thoughts on the old, if you have any thoughts, stick them in now. Now's your time. Questions, comments, anything? Final thoughts from the Noonas?
It was good. If you're here and you didn't watch it, which I don't think anybody does, you should go watch it. So.
Yeah, from what I've seen in the comments, it feels like we're
like we're all on the
people
same
who all who may have seen the show. But if you're watching this on replay and you're like, wow, they didn't actually spoil the whole show, incredible. We didn't.
That's true. We didn't.
We said it was good.
Well, aren't we fancy? I don't think we set out to necessarily do that.
But if you made it through, the whole thing, and you're like, should I watch this show? Yes, you should go watch it. It is on Viki and Gaga Ooh La La. So go watch.
It's an easy binge.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I just gotta say, all four of us enjoyed it, and all four of us have incredibly diverse drama likes.
True.
They're not all like me. They don't like everything. Like everyone's got their own. So 10 out of 10.
And speaking of like it being successful in Korea, it was like the top streamed show for like a couple weeks, I think.
Which is impressive.
On any platform. Like, so that includes Netflix as a platform and stuff. So that's pretty fancy.
Now I see why Bridgerton decided to release after it stopped airing. Didn't need that competition. I really like Bridgerton. I get. So thank you for coming to our live stream and hanging out with us. We had a really good time.
Oh,
we're doing more stuff.
DKZ, they are like presently gearing up for a comeback pretty soon. Like if you're interested in going and checking out J-Chan's group, now's a good time to do that since they're introducing their 3 new people and stuff.
Reminisce about K&K. I know.
Yeah,
guys.
Actually, go support K&K because they're great guys. Like, I really enjoy them.
So to do our final little spiel, if you are watching this before April 2nd, 2022, on our Discord, we are having a live stream party for the first episode of Kin Porsche. We're keeping this BL train going, but we're going in a completely opposite direction.
Whoa!
With the next one, we are going Saucy Mafia AU. So come join us there and you can watch it. We're having that live stream, and then on Sunday at 4 p.m. after. So on the 2nd, we're doing the stream party, and then we will be doing a debrief chat with anyone who wishes to come on Sunday at 4 p.m. here on YouTube to chat about Discord for the watch party, YouTube for the debrief stream afterwards on Sunday. So it'll be
a mess. It'll be
it's going to be a good time. We've been really enjoying the Kin Porsche roller coaster we've been on. We are not like, I just want to point out, we are not like emotionally attached to Kin Porsche. So if it's bad, we're going to tell you it's bad.
That's true.
We're going to tell you it's good. Like, listen, I know I say I love Stuart all the time, and I do, but if he's in a bad show, he's in a bad show, okay? I made it through.
But we've been like following this for a while.
We've been on
before, like times.
Literally, we've been on this Kin Porsche roller coaster since it was at the old company, and
the old place.
Yeah, so we've been following this.
We've been
I think we've had even on the news notes, we've had several news stories over the ages. The Kin Porsche news stories, so it only made sense.
I remember specifically the one about the the press thing that they like, it was just crazy and stuff.
They did listen. I think that was because we were like, guys, I think it's actually happening now. They did like a press conference. So so Saturday 8:30 p.m. we will be watching the show. I will be putting together, as we did when we did an F4 watch along, I will be putting together a little pre-show for people who decide to show up before 8:30. There'll be a little something or other. I don't know what. We'll work it out. And Sunday 4 p.m. back here, same bat time, same bat channel. YouTube, we'll be doing a debrief and chat about what we all watched. It'll be like the test after what we watched in class.
And we will be dropping a live stream schedule soon because we're going to be doing a lot more live streams like on the regular. So if this is something that you dig, keep an eyeball out because we'll be posting that on our socials and stuff.
Kim Porsche with the pining trope, but between the show and the audience.
Okay, I need actual memes of that.
Yeah. Joy wants to know if I will be finally baking macarons. Listen, Joy.
Not if she can't
who knows?
Share them with the class.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows, Joy? Yeah, well, we could all just bake macarons together. Who knows? We got some fun. Yes, we got some fun stuff planned. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. We hope you had a good time, and we're going to be signing off now. Bye.
Bye.